Alright, I'm back. Final part. One really important thing to note with these old motors is that they'll either stay working after you oil them or they won't. The old motor started working and it started spinning really fast. But then it slowed down and the voice started crackling again. And then it died. And no matter how much oil I put on it, it always did that. It would spin for a little bit, both directions, and then it would just stop. So obviously that motor is just too weak. So we took a motor out of a 2012, and I'm going to show you how to take a motor out of an early model 2012 because they have a different internal mechanism. Like with they have the same internal mechanism, but the way that the layout is slightly different. Like with a boom, you can see that the motor goes in the back, and then there's a little wire that follows the motor onto the very side of the Furby, the right side. So I'm going to show how you do it with 2012. So it goes in right there on a 2012. Let me make it so that people understand. So it goes in like this. We're looking at the back of the Furby. It's on the right side, early model 2012. And we had to move this board and these cables.
Got it.
And then basically we're doing kind of in reverse. And then what had to be taken off?
All this.
So the little thing that controls the motor had to be taken off. So the sync screw, normally you don't want to take those out, but on an early model 2012 you do. Just make sure you screw it back in after you put the Furby together and screw it in tight. And that's basically it for that one.
Pause it for now. Yeah.
This little board snaps back in. So basically everything in reverse of what was shown is how you take apart the early model 2012s. Unclipping this, unhooking this,
Yeah, buddy.
and then the sync screw,
Yeah.
and then that's it.
Yes.
Okay. I normally don't say this, but you will have to unscrew the sync screw. It's not a very good idea. It can mess up the Furby's movement. But hopefully if you screw it down real tight after taking the Furby apart, it will eventually fix itself. If you use a boom, you're probably better off with using another boom to get its motor so it's not as difficult, though it is nice to learn about the differences between the insides of 2012s and booms, because a lot of people just assume 2012s and booms are the exact same altogether when they're just not. When you put the back on the Furby, make sure you snap it on all the way. It is extremely scary and extremely anxiety inducing and all that stuff. And you also got to make sure that the wire is, of course, above the shell so that you can tape the little sensor on top of the shell. Otherwise, you'll have to use electrical tape for the wire. Almost said electrical shape for some reason. You could also, one thing that could happen, and if it does, you're kind of screwed, is the wire could come completely off, and then there's only a short amount of the wire left inside the Furby, and if that happens, it's really difficult to fish it out and tape it back together to get the pet sensor working again. Put the screws in, and
you don't want to get them too tight the first time. You want to make sure you got them.
Right. Yeah, put the screws in. Don't really worry about the ear clips, and then
You just want to get these top screws.
yeah, get the top screws. I don't think he had any. He didn't have any when I took him apart.
Let's put one.
And I did most of the repairs. I was too nervous to put the back on because of the wires and the fact that the pet sensor is being held together by electrical tape. There are two wires. There's one that's leading to the sensor and then the other that's leading to the inside of the Furby. And yeah, I was just really nervous to do that. So we're re-looping the tail, yeah, like that. And then if the tail, so the tail clicks. And then this fur meets this. It goes all the way down until it meets that. It folds down. Oh, the tummy sensor is peeking out. And basically just put the Furby back together and see if it works. This is not the final part. I lied. I'll see in the final part when I'm testing it.